Tears for the Tear God, Salt for the Salt Throne, and Gas the Leaf Tribe.
University of Ottawa professor Amir Adaran tweeted, "Conservatives have a strong lead among those who have not attended college or university, while liberals have a lead among those with university education. The party of the uneducated. Every poll says this." And here's the image he shared with the limited polling data. The claim itself, the party of the uneducated, it has to mean something. Educated, uneducated has to mean something. And he doesn't do a good job clarifying, so I'm curious as to what he means. Is he conflating education with intelligence? Is he conflating education with knowledge? Is he conflating education with worldly wisdom? Any or all of the above would be ironically hilarious, because a panel of incredibly educated people just denied him a research chair position at the university. So maybe he's not as smart as he thinks he is. Update. Many conservatives are viciously angry with me for showing polling data, but they can't or won't disprove the data showing that the least educated vote conservative. Why? It takes strength to face uncomfortable facts. Not doing so is a type of cowardice too. Now, I saw some of the responses in his Twitter feed. You can go look at them if you want. People weren't angry that he showed data. People were angry that he implied whatever it is that he would refuse to clarify that he was implying. Right? It's strange. It's very strange. You see, humans are bad at statistics intuitively. We're bad at guessing them, and stranger still, we're very bad when presented actual data with drawing out the meaning of the data. Right? This for example, this here poll has 2 bits of information: level of education and where you're voting. That's all. That's not a very good multivariate study. And for him to suddenly draw out the least educated vote conservative, well, hold on. Let's look at this. 37% of people with high school or less vote conservative. And he seems to be suggesting that they vote that way because they're uneducated. Okay, but 25% of the people with high school or less are voting liberal. So they also are voting liberal because they're uneducated. Or is that not what he means? I don't think he knows what he means. I think he's intuitively bad at statistics like most people. And he's drawing terrible conclusions from too little information. He doesn't have enough information to make any kind of judgment about this. I mean, look, college, that's educated, isn't it? 33% versus 30. More college educated people are going to vote conservative than liberal. And look, it's only a little bit more with a entry level university degree that are going to vote liberal. It's only here in the post grad degree. And here's what's really funny. The more educated you are, the less you know. You don't get it? Okay. The higher your education, the longer you educate, the more you specialize. The farther you go, the narrower your field has to become. So you have to actually make sacrifices in most other aspects of your life to further your education to the point that you have some sort of post-grad degree. Yeah. You learn less about everything because you're so focused on learning everything about this. Weird, right? Let's get back to the data presented. This is the data that he shared. So this is the data with which I will work. I'm not going to do any more research. I'm not going to go dig anything up. This is what he shared. It seems fair for me to assume that this is the information he used to draw his conclusion. So, rather than looking at what we know, because we know very little, let's look at all the things we don't know. We don't know, for example, how many people were actually polled. That's not on here. We don't know the percentage of people that were polled that fall into each category. Is it 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%? I don't think that would make much sense if that's how they did it, because I don't think that's the breakdown of these education levels percentage-wise in Canada. Now, again, I'm intuitively bad at statistics, just like everybody else. But if I had to guess, and I'm gonna, I would say something like half of people fall into these two, college and bachelor's degree, with the vast majority of the remaining being high school or less, and only a very, very small percentage of people being in the post-grad doctorate. So this bar in and of itself, being the smallest percentage of the overall population, means the least. It has the least weight. Also, we don't know in what are they educated. Is this 51% of the post-grads? Is this post-grads in, feminist dance therapy and critical race geometry? And 25% are STEM fields and engineers? I don't have that information. I mean, again, being intuitively bad at statistics, I'm going to go ahead and assume that that's correct. But we don't have any of this information. We just don't have it. And to draw conclusions from it, like least educated, doesn't make any sense, especially when you consider that polls like this almost invariably come with an accuracy rating of plus or minus 1, 2, 3, 5%. They know that the poll is not exactly representative because they don't poll everyone in the fucking country. So they have to include their accuracy measure, and let's say it is 4%. Well, that means that this could be exactly backwards, and this could be exactly backwards. Like, based on this poll and the accuracy and any accuracy measure, these two things are literally meaningless differences. Right? So this, depending on what it is their narrow field of study is, could be completely fucking meaningless, considering how small a portion of the population it likely is. I've never had any intention of trying to disprove the data. I'm just trying to express the idea that the data doesn't determine anything, let alone whatever it is he refused to clarify that he was implying. And I believe he's a professor of law and medicine. Good for him. Two incredibly narrow fields that probably took most of his life to achieve, and leaving him, blind to many other ideas, say, for example, statistics, that he would be able to think it was okay to draw those reactions or draw those conclusions from the limited information posted here. It's terrible. It's terrible. And it's to the point where you would call it stupid. That for as highly intelligent as the man must be to become a professor in both law and medicine, okay, for all of his education, it's doing him literally no good here. It has no value, and when he says things like this, he's proving himself, regardless of his intelligence and education, just as stupid as everybody else. What a dumbass. Serious.
Ours is the song of victory.
Relevant links to shit I said in the description. Maybe. I'm Irving Twin. Like, subscribe, or don't. It's a free country. At least it used to be.